Hello and welcome. In this video, we're going to take another look at our fundamentals demo series, and specifically, we are going to start to take a look at how Java handles memory. Now, this is going to be sort of a broad discussion topic. We're going to add videos as we go along as we see that they're necessary. But for right now, what I want to do is I want to create a smaller demo within the fundamentals demo that I'm going to call MemoryDemo. Now, this is going to cover a couple of different topics, not the least of which is how Java allows for you to pass variables. Mainly in this video or in the earlier videos, we're going to focus on things related to passing a variable by value and what types of variables you can pass and get updated inside of functions and so on. And then in later videos, we'll actually take a look at the virtual machine footprint, things you can do for optimization and so on. Now, this is sort of the starting video for this little mini series. So I'm going to take just a second to show you how I'm going to set up this project. We've actually got a couple of different ways that you can go about doing this. Now, in some of the earlier videos and in some of the other series, we actually create a completely separate project for our demo. In this case, we'd create a MemoryDemo project, but I want to do something a little different here, in that I'm actually going to make this particular MemoryDemo part of my fundamentals demo. And again, we've got a couple of different ways that we can go about doing this. So for right now, what we're going to do is we're going to put it inside of our EE333 package, and we're essentially just going to make it another one of our available demos that can be called from our fundamentals demo driver. In other words, basically, we could go back and use the same command line switches that we were using in earlier videos, but I'd want to take this then one step further and do something a little bit more unique, in that I want to add the ability to have multiple mains within the same project and for you to see how you can call them then from the command line. And so to start this off, the first thing that I want to do is I want to right-click on the package. Again, it doesn't really matter if you have it named E333, beta, demo, or anything along those lines. The idea is it's just going to be part of an existing project, and I want to create a new Java main class. And then I'm just going to simply call this one then my memory demo, and I want to leave it as part of, in this case, my EE333 package. Now, what's going to happen is you're going to get another main, and that's going to be indicated by the fact that I now have two files that have a tiny little green arrow next to them to indicate that essentially this particular class is going to be runnable. In other words, it has a main in it. And what we'll do now is we'll take a look at our empty file here, or our template. I'm going to go ahead and clean it up just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and take the default message from NetBeans out. And of course, we can update our comment blocks. But then the first thing that I want to do is I want to set up my boilerplate, if you would, the standard thing that I always have in most of my applications. And that is, I simply want to keep track then of an index variable and then be able to loop through each of the arguments in my args that pass to my main. So in this case, I'm going to start off with index equal to 0, index then less than our args, of course, spelled correctly, args dot length, and then args, or rather index plus plus. And then for this part, then I simply want to do a nice system.out.println, line, and I'm going to put in here something that looks nice here. I'm going to do args square brackets, and then I'm going to add the index as well as another square bracket, and then the value associated with that particular element in my argument array. In this case, it's going to be my args square brackets index. Again, you can get as fancy as you want to with this. The other thing I want to do up top here is I simply want to indicate then how many arguments are being passed to my Java executable. And that is just, again, going to be handled by arguments.length. Now, the last thing I want to do in this video is I just want to go ahead and set us up with our command line switches, and I want you to see how you can run this particular class from your fundamentals demo project, just to make sure that you've got this wired up correctly. Again, you can create this as a separate project in its entirety, or you can make it even part of another package. Again, there's multiple different scenarios here, but what we want to do then is we simply want to handle then various different argument count combinations. In this case, I'm going to start off with args.length equal to 0, and well, that's just simply going to be our help scenario. I'm not going to set my help up in this particular video. Hopefully you know how to go about doing that. But what we want to do is we then want to focus in on the first of many possible combinations here, and that is going to be if my args square brackets 0, or rather, let's do the length first. If args.length equals to 1, and the first switch combination then we're going to look at is if the user then passes the demo switch. So in this case, it's going to be args square bracket 0, and then we'll use our equals ignore case that we've used in many other videos, and we'll just check to see if it's equal to demo. And again, there's all sorts of possible switch combinations you can do here. You could use demo, you could use beta, it doesn't really matter. And then I'm just going to put a little placeholder in here for right now with our system.out.println, and I'm going to just put here note calling /demo. And again, this is just kind of a placeholder for now, just to make sure that we're actually doing something. And then under the else, of course, you want to follow up with another call to your help, because again, somehow you've gotten to this particular combination of arguments and arg count. In other words, something that you haven't handled. Now, at this point, we can go ahead and build it. And if you don't have any errors, you can come out to your command window. You'll notice that I've already started with this command window. You can do a dir here again. You can see that I've got various projects here, but notice I have nothing called a memory demo. And so what I'd like to do is I'd like to cd into my fundamentals demo, particularly into my build directory. And ultimately then I'll do a dir, and you'll see there are my classes. And you can see there's my EE333 as well as my beta packages. And then just as a quick sanity check, I'm going to cd into EE333 again, do a dir, and you'll see there are a bunch of classes here. I've been working with this project for a while, but again, we're doing something a little bit different here. You'll notice that I have now a MemoryDemo class, okay? And so this is part of my fundamentals demo. And how are we going to actually make that main run? And so what we'll do is we'll cd back out to the root of the classes folder. In quick sanity check, you'll see that there's my EE333 folder, and I'll simply call my Java EE333 and my memory demo. And then I know to go ahead and include my /demo switch. And you can see here that it says note calling a demo. Now, one more tweak that we probably want to go ahead and do, even though we don't have our help set up yet, I'm just going to go ahead and borrow my system.out.println, and until we get our help set up, I'm just going to make a couple of copies of this here. And then instead of calling my demo, I'm going to just simply call help. And this, again, just makes sure that we've got the whole thing set up correctly. And again, what we will do is we'll just go ahead and build this. You can come back out to your command window, and now let's say, for instance, that you didn't know that there was a /demo switch. Well, you'll get the prompt then for calling help. So again, this is just meant to be an introduction to this little mini series. I'm going to post this as part of the fundamentals demo. You can set these up as an additional memory demo. It's again perfectly fine. I'll have these in a couple of different playlists so you can bounce back and forth between them. This particular series, again, is going to focus mainly on different aspects of how Java is unique in its memory management, both of individual variables, but then also the virtual machine in general. So as always, if you got any questions, comments, or concerns, don't hesitate to reach out to me. And thank you for watching.